Alright? And kanina nandito siya, and I hope, I'm crossing my fingers na okay na po ang kanyang technical setup. He did mention 3 points that you will witness in his talk. The first one is opportunity in crisis. The second is daring to be different. And sabi ni Mr. Paulo Tibig, the CEO of vCargo Worldwide, always up your antenna. Paulo, pasok.
Ayan, James. Ayan. Okay na ba? Kasi kanina, kasi si Sam nagmadali ako, nagkagulo-gulo tuloy dito, and then I think yung audio. But kanina umaga I was also monitoring. I think si Senator Honasan nga yung kanya nagka-problema rin. Mukhang kay Dean lang hindi nagka-problema. Mukhang natakot kay Dean yung ating mga audio at yung ating mga internet connection. Yan.
Alam mo, Paolo, hindi naman kompleto ang virtual environment ng walang technical glitch. Hindi ako sanay na sobrang perfect. Hindi ako sanay na sobrang perfect. Sige, tama. Sir Paulo, bago ka mag-talk, no, alam kong handang-handa ka na, and I also want to recognize Gibbs, ang iyong right hand, preparing for your talk.
Maraming salamat.
My question is, kung ide-describe mo ang experience of volunteerism mo sa Bounce Back PH, what word is this and why?
Well, una, James, and I think alam ni Jason to, we've come a long way ni Jason. Siguro, parang kuya ko na rin yan. Kung kuya mo si Sam, kuya ko rin si Jason. Siguro mga 20 years ago na. And then, come to think of it, sabi nga natin, itong pandemic have parang nagbalik na naman, no, nag-reinforce yung ating mga pagkakaibigan along the way because of the need to help others, di ba? Parang ganyan. So, in my end, while in my company and also on a personal capacity, we have done a lot of things during this time, no, itong pandemic, simula nun hanggang ngayon. But one way na nakita ko with the community is that there's a need to help people. Alam naman natin, JV, alam mo to, we're into motivating people, we're into training people, and how do we use our platform? Parang ganyan. So, immediately after parang last year, to be exact, parang I talked to my team, yan, sila Gibbs and the rest, na anong gagawin natin to help our kababayans? And through Bounce Back, we have developed parang at least 3 free public webinars. Jason have supported it along the way. We spread the word about it. And, come to think of it, thousands of people have benefited with that. So, wag na nating i-consider yung mga donation, wag na nating consider kasi lahat naman, that would be our usual, Pero ang ginawa natin, parang in our case, about isa sa atin, meron kanya-kanya tayong advocacy, may kanya-kanya tayong platform. Paano natin gagamitin? And the crisis have shown that even though may maraming uncertainties, negativities, we can still work on and provide positivity with many people by doing and helping them out through our personal parang yun nga platform. So, ganun yung James yung ginawa ko that time. And true enough, until now naman, in fact, nag-partner din tayo with Bounce Back, yung aking isang online show every Saturday, 7 p.m., na parang, let's continue reaching out to people. And meron kami pinag-uusapan pa nga ni Jason and even ni Sam, pero siguro in the next, baka may mga pagkakataon, matuloy na rin yung mga yon, again, for the benefit ng ating mga community members. And I think in a way also we do yung weekly until now. We always share a lot of insight. We share a lot of motivational, whether in the form of blogs, in the form of features, articles, and so on. Kasi nga alam naman natin, JB and the rest, no, kailangan continuous pa rin. The pandemic have not, hindi pa rin tapos eh. The more so that yung dapat natin gawin dito, tuloy-tuloy pa rin siya.
That's right. Alam mo ba, Sir Paulo, naalala ko yung nag-moderate ako for Home Essentials. Parang May yun eh. And I announced the number of members. At that time, there were 70,000. Ngayon, nagulat ako na more than 1 million na ang members ng Bounce Back PH. So there is no time wasted here in our community. My dear friends, tune in to Mr. Paulo Tibig, the CEO of vCargo Worldwide, for his talk. Carry on, sir.
Okay, sige. So magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Alam ko po napaka-iksi nitong ating pag-uusapan, but come to think of it, everyone, anything that you can absorb at this point, please do so. And if you wanted to share this with all of your friends in your social media network, nagdiriwang po tayo ng unang-unang anniversary ng Bounce Back Community. Ito po ay para sa ating lahat. ito po ay maliit man na negosyo, malaki mang negosyo, para po tayong ditong big brother doon na nagtutulungan ng bawat isa. Sabi ko nga, na kailangan natin with so much things that is happening around us, we need to see more inspiration, motivation, we need to see more opportunities along that line. And Bounce Back, for one, will provide us with that. So I hope that if you're listening all over, watching all over, i-share nyo na. Kasi mula kaninang umaga hanggang mamayang hapon, marami pa po tayong matututunan dito. Okay, now, looking at and with the screen right now, everyone, it's, kung nakita nyo, ang nakalagay dyan, C2C. Ano nga ba yung C2C? Unang-una, hindi po iyan yung iniinom. Pangalawa, ano nga ba yung dalawang C? Ano nga ba yung 2? But sabi ko nga, ngayon po talaga, napakaraming nangyayari. And one of those kanina na napag-uusapan is about paano na tayo ngayon? With the current situation right now, if 2 months ago, if the first 2 months of pandemic, parang hindi pa rin po tayo, parang hindi nagsisink in sa atin. Yun nangyayari. Dapat, ngayon na halos 1 year na, to be exact, di ba, just a few days to be exact, ano na ang nangyayari sa atin? Have we worked on the things that we need to do? Nakita na ba natin na, hey, eto na, kailangan na nating sobrang hindi na nga move on Dapat ngayon, I always tell people that at this point, dapat thriving na tayo. We have adapted already with what's happening with the abnormalities during the pandemic. Di ba? Sabi nga natin, pre-pandemic, parang ano to parang naiba na ang mundo natin. And then, by way of doing so, di ba, nasa liminal state na tayo. Liminal state, yung transition. We are in the state of transition right now. How will you transform at this point? Making abnormal now new normal or better normal, sabi nga ng iba. Now, what's basically C2C? Talking about opportunities. The other day, we have seen marami na naman pong nawalan ng trabaho. And sadly, marami rin po nagsarang negosyo. Di ba? Parang ano pa ang kailangan natin gawin? But remember, everyone, there is something that we still can do. Look at this. C2C means crisis turns to cash. Yan. Now, I always love this principle, and I have been sharing this. In fact, in the best-selling book that I wrote, Strategies of a Champion Entrepreneur. Ito po yung unang-unang chapter. Itong unang-unang mababasa natin. That book was so many years ago. But look at this. During those times, ang pinag-uusapan lamang, if you wanted to get into business, ano ang pwede kong pasukan? And more so, ayaw kasi natin, everyone, yung gaya mentality. Gusto natin proactive perspective. Gusto natin yung tipong, merong pinag-uusapan dyan. Hindi ako pipila dyan. Hindi ako gagaya dyan kasi merong kakaiba dito sa akin. But, nag-iba po ang panahon. Ito na ang krisis. Ang krisis ngayon, parang, paano ako ngayon? Paano ako magsisimula kung kailangan ko mag-start ng isang negosyo? Paano ko i-level up kung meron akong existing negosyo? Paano ko titignan kung ako'y sobrang apektado ngayon? So, ibig sabihin, I always tell people about this, everyone, na the character of a true entrepreneur, lumalabas yan kapag ka push against the wall ka o kapag ka you are in crisis. Now, look at this, everyone. How do we develop crisis and turning it to opportunity or translating that into cash? Take a look at this very good example. When you go to Makati and Ortigas, di ba ang dami doon nakikita natin mga Jolly Jeep? Bakit nga ba tumaas ang pangangailangan sa Jolly Jeep? I remember, baka yung mga kasamahan natin dito, o baka kayo, you will agree with me, everyone, na di ba kakain ka doon sa jeep, papasok ka, nakapustura ka, gwapo ka, ang gaganda mo, and then pagdating ng tanghali, yung kapapasok sa jeep, tapos kakainan mo, platong, yung nito, kung alam niyo yung nito, yung parang walis tingting yun na ginawang plato, at lalagyan lang ng plastic, nandun na masikip, o kaya nakatayo ka, and then kakain ka. So, bakit nga ba nagkaroon ng ganon? Kasi yung mga taga Makati, mga taga Ortigas, naghahanap ng una, lutong bahay. Pangalawa, affordable. Pangatlo, accessible, pero ma-maintain yung social image. Social pala, yung social na image. So, ibig sabihin, yung crisis with that scenario, with that environment, nakita ng mga taga-Taguig at Pateros, wow, meron palang opportunity na crisis ng mga taong ito. So, what's the point, everyone? Ngayon, nagkaroon nun. Yung mga taga-Taguig, Pateros, dyan nakita natin, mga kakaibang ulam, lutong bahay, affordable na presyo, at accessible. So, ano ibig sabihin? Turning out that crisis can really turn into something. Makikita nyo, nag-evolve along the years. Nakita rin ng LGU na Makati. Ano ginawa? Sa halip na jeepna, naglagay sila ng fixed structure, renta, pinaayos ang tao, binihisa ng tao, nagkaroon ng parang health sanitation protocol and stuff. So ano nangyari? Nagkaroon din ng opportunity out of that initial crisis yung LGU. Just one case that will tell you about things that we can look around and wait to see kung paano natin matuturn yung crisis. Sa panahon ngayon, we are in crisis. We have seen resiliency. Sabi ko nga, parang yung term, yung buzzword, sobrang overused na. Parang sobrang, alam niyo, nabibingin na tayo. But that's true. Pag sinabing resilient organization, resilient na individual, resilient company, what does it tell us? It's how we resist or absorb things happening around us. So in our case, if we are negosyantes, big or small, naipakita ba natin that in this crisis, you can change your business model, you can tweak your product profiling, you can work on with service solutions that you have, and you can see more opportunities rather than sitting down and be a typical negatrons. So ayaw natin nun, everyone. So ano ibig sabihin? The point here is about you can see that there is cash in every crisis. How does it work? Moving on with this, everyone. Moving on with this. This is an antenna. Ano nga ba ang gamit ng antenna? Ang antenna, unang-una, di ba? Ay, kung may mga naka-antenna pa po sa inyo, kayo na po ang sosyal. Yung mga naka-cable daw, ito na yung bago. Pero kung may naka-antenna pa sa atin, well, ito na po yung isang bagay na makakatulong sa atin. Paano nga ba? Ang antenna, alam naman natin, para mas maganda ang signal, mas marami kang channel na makuha. Pag inikot mo ng konti, tinaas mo pa ng konti, mas maganda pa ang reception. Tama po. Do you agree with that? I'm sure you agree with me on that. Now, looking at, ganon din po na pinag-uusapan natin, aligning this with that C2C principle. You have to up your antenna. That's my whole point here. Bakit? You have to up your antenna, katulad ng antenna pag-scan niya, opportunities can be seen, can be observed by scanning the environment very well. That's where yung mga successful entrepreneurs na naiiba dun sa breed ng mga losers entrepreneur. Bakit? Dalawa po ang klase ng entrepreneur. Isang may winner's mindset at isang may loser's mindset. And those people, sabi ko nga earlier, you have to be proactive perspective and have that perspective with what you want to ensure na meron kang advantage. So, ibig sabihin, when you up your antenna and you scan the environment, you'll be able to see what's in there. Example, ayaw natin na pare-pareho tayong magbebenta ng baked sushi. Ayaw natin pare-pareho tayong magbebenta ng ubi pandesal. Lahat na yata, ano nangyari? Lahat tayo naging culinary expert. Lahat tayo na naging master bakers. Di ba? Parang yan. At lahat din yata ay naging shopping cart masters. Tama ba? Kaway-kaway, iwagay-way ang mga kamay kung totoo, hindi yan. I'm sure tumatawa kayo ngayon kung nakikinig kayo o nanonood kayo. Kasi po yan ang totoo. So we don't want those na kailangan lahat tayo nandun. Ano mangyayari doon? Di ba? Wala na. So, paano ang gagawin natin? Paano ang gagawin natin, everyone? We have to up our antenna and really scan the environment using that antenna to ensure that you'll be able to see opportunities. Opportunities, hindi lang po kaching, hindi lang pera. Opportunities wherein kung meron kang existing, what will you do with your existing? Pivot? Yes, okay, pivot. Adapt, yes, adapt, go ahead. Innovate, yes, innovate, go ahead. Nothing wrong with that. Everyone, the way to see is making sure that in any crisis you can still work on, and this crisis can provide you better opportunities along the way. How do you do that? Up your antennas and scan the environment. Now, moving on with this. When you scan the environment, this is the principle that I will always and will always share with you. If there's one thing in this short session, please, please, please remember this. You have to be the orange amongst the apples. Hindi naman po halata, ay hindi po ako naka-orange ngayon, ano? Pero basically, that's my favorite color. Yan. Hindi lang po P ang nakalagay. Mahirap po pag P ang nakalagay sa likod ng orange color, pero P for Paulo. Yun po yung totoo nun. But anyway, everyone, what does it tell us? Look at the apples as your competition if you're in business. Kasi ito po ay applicable. This principle that I always love is, is a, ang tawag dito, is a thing na dapat naintindihan. Parang, an apples, if you see, for example, sa isang basket na punong-puno ng apples, and then pare-pareho po yan. And look at them as your competition. Now, kung pare-pareho ang offering natin, pare-pareho ang solutions natin, ang services natin, pare-pareho ang product profiling natin, tell me, saan na tayo magkukompete? Magkukompete na lang tayo probably with the price. And that's the thing, that's the least that we cannot, work on. Ayaw natin na puro presyo lamang. Remember everyone, when you see an orange on top of these apples, it's like saying, how will you be different? The orange tells us about standing out. Standing out. You have to stand out. Meaning to say, how are you going to stand out from amongst the rest? Lalo na ngayon, pandemic, marami kang pinagbebentahan. Marami kayong pare-pareho. Pwede bang ang ubi mo pwedeng maging strawberry pandesal? Pwede ba yung ubi mo na pag kinagat mo parang merong something that parang chocolate lava na lalabas or your typical cheese lamang ang lalabas? Tell me. We have to be the orange among apples. Look at this, everyone. All of us, and on the different contexts, an orange may be one just customer. And we, na nandun sa apples, are naglalaban-laban for that attention and the purchase of that one customer. How will you ensure that customer will buy you? O paano ka makakasiguro na bibilin at tatangkilikin niya ang produkto o serbisyo natin? So, the key here is about looking at the scenario wherein, example, na naroon ka sa isang dagat. Remember everyone, di ba, sa dagat, habang lumalalim, parang nagiging dark ang kulay. Pero ang totoo, hindi naman talaga dark yung kulay ng tubig. Dahil lamang habang lumalalim yung dagat at parang mas yung reflection ng kulay, kaya parang dark. Di ba? Ayaw natin yon. Why? Kuminsan kasi, nandyan yung mga shark. And the shark are looking for prey. Di ba? So ano ibig sabihin? Pag-aawayan natin, yung makakain kung parang ang competition natin is like sharks. So how can we move along that line? So ibig sabihin, katulad ng shark, pag nakakain sila ng prey, di ba? Kung isda, okay lang. Paano kung nakain tao? Wow, literally and figuratively, magpupula ngayon yung dagat. At pag nagpula ngayon yung dagat, ano mangyayari? Parang similarly in our competition, nandun na lahat ang shark. Nandun na lahat ang competition mo. So how can you move away from the sharks, from that ocean na nagpula na? So what will happen? You have to go out. You have to remember that you need to have something that will differentiate you. You have to have that new concept wherein you create your own market space, you provide the value to your customers, and you provide that promise na kahit mahal ka ng konti, bibilin kita. So please remember everyone, we have to be the orange amongst the apples. If you will be not, then you will be just one apple who will competing against everyone based on price and based on, patronage. You have to remember, everyone, be the orange amongst the apples. Paano mangyayari yan? I'll give you some ideas, no? Eto, papakita ko sa inyo. Moving on. This is a diamond of a baseball game. Yan po diamond, di ba? May first base, second base, third base, fourth base. Palagi ko si Brother Sam, alam na alam tong baseball. Yung mga kuya natin to, sila Kuya Jason, alam na alam nila to. Hindi ko lang alam kung si Miss JB alam ang gantong konsepto ng baseball. But basically everyone, this baseball diamond tells us about what? Di ba? Para magkaroon ka ng score o magkaroon ka ng home run, agawan base, alam daw ni Sir Sam. O parang hindi ko alam yata yung game na yan, Sir Sam, ha? Kasi di ba nung araw, ang baseball noon, pag sa mga iba't ibang lugar, nasa bukid. At ang bola ng tennis ball, tapos basta may pat-pat lang, game na yan, di ba? Yun ang laruan noon. Now with this, everyone, para makascore tayo, para maka-home run ka, you have to, kailangan madaanan mo yung first base, second base, third base, para nandun ka sa mound, para magkaroon ka ng score. Now, similarly, in our business, I always tell people in all my engagement with multinational FMCG, pharmaceuticals, iba't ibang industry, that you have to cover your bases. So ano ibig sabihin when we talk about covering our bases? Di ba, covering our bases tells us about you have to be there in every touch points of your customers. Hindi pwedeng nabenta mo, tapos na. Hindi pwedeng inayawan ka nila, tapos na. Hindi pwedeng nagreklamo na ayaw mo na. Iyon yung ayaw natin. Gusto natin for us to ensure scoring to our customers and clients, our trading partners. You have to value, you have to be with them as they grow. You have to cover their bases in all customers' touch points. How does it work? Basically, on touching them, the experience that they will have, whether you're in the product or service. How does it work, everyone? Moving on with this. Paano natin mai-ensure yan? To have the total customer experience, you need to have this FMOT and SMOT. Ano nga ba yung FMOT? Okay, papakita natin sa inyo. Quickly lang to, everyone. Matatapos na tayo. I hope you're learning. FMOT means first moment of truth. It is the principle wherein we wanted to obtain the attention at the point of purchase ng ating mga customer. So, ibig sabihin, how do we get the attention of our customers? By way of brand, the superiority of our product, the uniqueness. Remember how your product and service stands out from the rest. So yun yung kailangan natin. Kung hindi nag-stand out yan, para pang nasa shelving ng supermarket. 'Di ba sa shelving ng supermarket, ano nakikita natin? Palakihan. Pag multinational yan, palakihan ng spasyo yan. Paano kung maliit lang tayong player? And remember everyone, consumer insights tells us about what? Ano nakikita nila? Kapag ka nandun sa eye level, iyan po ang karaniwang binibilan. Kaya nga po, karamihan ng malalaking company nandyan. Paano kung di tayo maliit tayong player? Maaring nandun ka sa ilalim, baka nasisipa pa tayo, o maaring nandun ka sa taas, na nahuhulugan pa tayo. Which is which? Yes, we cannot compete with them. So how will you develop your business model into such way that you will obtain that first quick win? What? The first moment of truth. You're talking about yung unang touch base, na lahat ng touch base before you score. So yun ang kailangan natin. So ibig sabihin, total customer experience tells us about what? First moment of truth principle, na kailangan quickly, our quick win, if the customers wanted and help and see us na makapag-decide to purchase initially our product. So this is the first way and goal. Ano yung second goal dyan? Ang second goal natin, just to provide you another quick lang tayo dun sa simple case study. Tingnan nyo even from merchandising, based on study, 70% of decision are made in just a few seconds. So ibig sabihin, kaya nga di ba, most of the companies right now are really working and enticing their customers. So just one of the bases that we wanted. We cannot score hanggat hindi pa rin tayo napunta doon sa kahera o nag-purchase sila o nag-online sila at nag-order sa atin. That's the whole point. Now, the second way to do that is about what? The second moment of truth tells us about yung repeat ng customers natin to experience the benefit and eventually patronize our product. That's the second moment of truth. And continuously, kailangan diretso siya. So ano ibig sabihin? You wanted to be different. You wanted to do something that will help your product or service. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, the character right now of a true entrepreneur is shown ng mga taong alam nila how do they navigate with this. You really have to innovate if you're an existing entrepreneur. The way to do it, innovate. Everyone, look at this Ibibigyan ko po kayo ng acronym. Just mention this o tingnan nyo kung marirecall nyo. First, yung in. Either you're in or out. Innovate po tayo. That's in. Then next yung no. Sa innovate, no. Nowhere to go but up. Hindi po UP, hindi rin po Ateneo, hindi po Lasal, but up. Nowhere to go but up. Why? Karaniwan po kasi yung trajectory pag when you innovate the product, your service, or if you are in the corporate right now, yung entrepreneurship na tinatawag, you have to do that. All right? Innovate. Now, so nowhere to go but up. Next, V. Value the essence of time. Kailan pa mapag-iiwan ka ba ng pansitan? And lastly, 8. Ano yung 8? Don't be eaten by your competition. Innovate. Okay? So that's a way to do it, everyone. And lastly on this, everyone, always remember that when you do these things, crisis man o hindi crisis, always think that the best business or the best trophy that you can get is the business of your customer. Think about that, everyone. We can be a person or an individual na magaling na entrepreneur o hindi magaling na entrepreneur. But come to think of this, everyone. Para tayong nasa isang field, track and field, at merong grandstand dyan. And then sa grandstand dyan, alam naman natin, merong mga manonood. I always challenge people is about this. Do you want to be a spectator who's sitting just there in the grandstand and watching how the game unfolds? Or will you be the player who will play, train, innovate, and learn and be motivated to win that game? Think about it, everyone. A spectator who will just sit down and watch how the game unfolds, or a player who will play the game and win the game for this way sa inyong entrepreneurship journey. All right? So, I'm on time. I hope that's the JV, I'm on time. Sam, I'm here also. So,
Hi. Hi,
ayan,
Paolo.
So, medyo
Alam mo
hiningal
yung-
ako, parang kabayo. Okay,
Alam mo,
but at least,
Paolo,
yes, go ahead.
yung sinabi mong am I on time, you know, you're a lot earlier than time. Kasi ang alam ko, initially ang time mo is a little bit later. But Paolo,
Yep.
thank you for the effort of coming here with us. Ang dami mong na-share with that short time, no?
Yeah,
Sige,
yeah.
Sir Paolo,
Salamat.
let me just do a quick capture of your talk today
Go ahead.
for some people na you will just follow, no? So, I love the C2C, which is cash in every crisis. And then may nag-chat sa atin, pwede ring Christ to Christ.
Pwede, yes.
Pwede.
Maraming pwede talaga. Maraming pwede. Yes.
Sobrang daming pwede. In fact, yung C2C mo na yan, ang C po ba ay pandemic as a curse or ang pandemic as a change maker? So that's another one, right?
Pwede rin, pwedeng curse to cash. Pwede rin, Dami
Yes,
pwede.
sobrang dami. And then up your antennas, I like the scanning the environment. And I think by heart, you are an advocate of not customer service. Mukhang advocate ka, sir, talaga ng customer experience. Nabanggit mo, ang kulay na paborito mo ay orange. At
Pero hindi ako naka-orange, saka-blue ko ngayon
Oo nga. At naisilid mo to sa talk mo by saying, be the orange among the thousands and millions of apples. So which means every person has a unique story to tell. Tama?
Exactly. We
And
have our own narrative. Yan.
And last but not the least, I sent a chat privately to our group, no, na sabi ko, ang galing-galing ni Sir Paolo, nakakatuwa siyang pakinggan. Sige.
Nako.
Paolo,
maraming salamat, JV.
before you bid goodbye and bring forward our virtual partnership launch, okay, can you please share your closing message of your talk? Any
Ayun.
reminders to them?
Yep. Oo, sabi nga natin, maraming paraan po how to win games. And, the business is like a game. Di ba? Parang buhay natin yan. Alam naman natin yon if you're in the corporate world right now, parang buhay natin yung corporate eh. Pag nasa negosyo naman tayo, buhay din natin ang negosyo. So, ibig sabihin, we have so many victories as we have so many failures in our businesses as well as in life, in personal and our professional life. So, sabi ko nga everyone, that the more that we need to equip ourselves, parang kailangan natin yung, alam niyo yung resilience eh. Ngayon natin nakita. Kaya kanina, at least 2 beses sabi ko, JB, about yung parang, yung character. Dito kasi natin napapakita yung character. And I hope that, again, just a challenge to everyone. You can always be a player. Sabi ko nga, a player will win the game in your game of life. The game of life, whether yung negosyo, it's okay, go ahead. Be the player that you wanted to be. Ang ayaw natin, everyone, para tayong kabayo. Ano yung kabayo? Yung parang banderang kapos o banderang tapos. Yung banderang tapos, ibibigay ang lahat, you have to lay your heart on the line, and just keep on minding, just keep on pushing, just keep on pounding. Never mind and never back down. Yun ang gusto natin dito. Keep on inspiring, diba? Keep motivating and always mind winning. Ayan. So,
Salamat.
Maraming salamat. At sana, sa totoo lang, hindi ako sanay ng 10 minuto at 15 minutes eh. But anyway, I hope
Nahalata ko nga.
Ang hirap para rin akong kabayo dito. But anyway, JB, I would like to invite everyone. You can catch me every Saturday, everyone, on my online show kung okay lang, James, no? Yung The Paolo TV Show. Yan. Alam ko maraming taga-Bounce Back community nanonood din dito. So I hope na please do join us. There's a lot for you, professionals. Kasi ito'y pang corporate at ito'y pang business. So join us every Saturday, 7 p.m. And plug ko na rin, if you're looking for right now to really kickstart your team, I would like to also share with you things that we do, getting your sales rallies, kickoff, and so on, to help your company, organization, big and small. Let us know. You can email us or just follow and reach us through our Paolo Tibig page, Paolo Tibig LinkedIn, Twitter, lahat ng social media. Yun na lang po.
Magpapa-signature na lang ako mamaya, ha? Virtual lang. Salamat. Maraming salamat, Sir Paolo TV.
Thank you, everyone, and happy anniversary to all of us. Thank you, James. Thank you. Salamat.
Salamat.